should you lock in? Should you lock in? Call us now. Lock in. Lock in while rates are low before the world comes to an end. This is what we're hearing. I had an awesome conversation with a mortgage client today, and she was losing sleep over this exact question. And a lot of her clients are calling about this. The next Bank of Canada announcement is on July 13th. That's only 2 weeks away. You probably noticed I'm doing my Friday Fire on Thursday, June 30th, because I'm taking Canada Day off. How awesome that COVID is starting to be in the rearview mirror and Canadians can really celebrate this year. So I wanted to just walk you through this scenario because I think it will provide so much clarity about this question around locking in. People are really stressed out right now, as if inflation wasn't causing enough concern. So here's the scenario. Awesome clients, strong borrowers, they got a mortgage over a year ago to buy a home on a variable rate plan, 5-year term, so prime, and then usually if you're a strong borrower, there's a discount, so prime minus 0.8. Prime today is 3.7 minus 0.8. They are currently paying 2.9%. Okay, 2.9%. Remember that number. Question comes in, should I lock in? Rates are going up. I'm getting a little bit concerned. Am I going to regret if I don't lock in? Well, everybody's different, but I'm just going to tell you what it would look like if that type of borrower locked in. What it looks like is we go to her lender. She asks to lock in. Guess what? You're locking in at a lot higher than 2.9%. Remember, she's paying prime minus 0.8. And everybody's mortgage will be different if they're on a variable, but that's what she got. She would be locking in around 5% or higher. With that particular lender, I think we were looking at around 5.29. Because fixed rates are higher, and you always have to pay more money for more certainty, and you get a discount for taking a little bit of variance and risk. That's the variable rate. Over time, variable rates tend to perform much, much better for the consumer, save for a few historical exceptions. So she would be locking in at a rate over 5% while she's currently only paying 2.9%. When the interest rate hike inevitably comes in 2 weeks on July 13th, if you do the math, even if we get a 75 basis point rate hike, that would still only put her at 3.65 if she does nothing. Her rate would be 3.65. But if we locked her in before that rate hike, she'd be at like 5.29, 5.19, something like that. So you got to think about that. Now, for some people, if that rate keeps going up, so there's expecting more rate hikes, although I question how far the Bank of Canada is going to take it, because remember, they are doing a delicate dance to control inflation, to temper an overheated economy, but they don't want to send us into a recession. So as long as we even have slow growth, we're not in a recession. The minute GDP starts contracting and the economy starts to disintegrate, then we have a recession. So the Bank of Canada has to be careful about how aggressive they are with these rate hikes. And even if they do keep increasing the rates over the next while, how far will they go, and will they eventually come back down? So you got to think about all these things. And even if you wait a year to lock in, but you were on a variable that was lower than the fixed all the way up to that point, you were saving all the way up to that point. Okay, so there's lots of moving parts. The other thing to think about, if you lock in, you are really locking in a lot of ways, because a fixed rate mortgage is not as flexible financially as a variable rate. That is, if you need to break that term fairly early in the term, like you've got more than just a few months left, the penalties will be higher, sometimes a lot higher than on a variable rate mortgage that you need to break. And if you're young or if your life is changing all of the time, you need to think about being flexible and having a mortgage that can accommodate that. But we do have some people on the ropes. They can't afford for a lot of variation in their mortgage payment. There are a few people that feel they do need to move to a fixed rate situation. But just think about those numbers. For that particular case study, even after a 75 basis point rate hike in 2 weeks, which many are anticipating, she'll still only be at 3.65 instead of 5+% on a fixed rate. Her payment would have gone up by over $200 a month, just like that, by moving to a fixed rate and locking in. So I'm really simplifying. Everybody is different. That's why you make the call and have the discussion with your mortgage broker, because they can explain your different options based on your situation. But for a lot of people, they don't need to panic yet. If you have any other questions, you can call or text 403-382-7335, or you can look me up at karriflatla.com. Remember to like or subscribe to my channel here on Facebook and YouTube. And in the meantime, have a terrific long weekend. Enjoy yourself, and we'll see you for next Friday Fire. Take care.